Alright. It's the grand finals of the KSL, week number 69. Ho ho ho. Weibo Gaming Zero getting excited about that. And like any true Chad, he has a picture of himself next to his Nexus. Understandable, as you should. Does Dark have himself? I think that is Dark's image. It's one of his older ones where he looks kind of like TY in this image. I always feel like he looks like TY, but it's partially because he's just got bloody Zerg henticle stuff growing all over him, and partially just because he's a bit younger. It's pre-moustache Dark up there on that image. And it looks like he gets blocked. Probe comes down, and Dark is just going to take his third base on 17. Okay, nothing too crazy there. Now, keep in mind, it's Erreholm to start this one off, guys. A lot of these non-ladder maps we're all using as tournament organizers, and really enjoying using the non-ladder map pool to get some different maps in there, keep some variety, and just keep things interesting. As I realize, it looks like... Did we not have those attack sounds there for a sec? I don't know. It just felt like the probe sounds were really quiet. Anyways, I think it's all good. Spawning pool gas goes down. Okay, very standard. Nothing crazy. One-off minerals onto gas for Hero as well. Now, one of the things we'll look for in this series is Hero's ability to throw the kitchen sink at Dark and get massively ahead in the early game. Already, Probe Harass outclassing Dark a little bit there. You can see Dark's workers getting messed up a little bit. Dark does correct it, though. Often Dark ignores that and loses a lot of minerals due to early mistakes, but not this time. Actually corrects things pretty nicely. Cybercore goes down. It's a classic Hero wall-off where he leaves the opening on the right side. Very hard to wall that off with an Adept. To do it correctly, you need the Adept to actually be in front of the pylon so that it's walling off with this. And even then, each time the Adept attacks, when it throws its glaive, it actually becomes a little bit smaller. It goes from like this size to about this size. And Zerglings, if they're clicked, will be able to actually squeeze past it. Usually 2 Zerglings every time it attacks. Stalker much easier to wall off this choke point, but either way, one of the big weaknesses of leaving a wall off on the side. Problem is, if you want to leave the wall off next to the pylon, you can't put the pylon here, or it wouldn't be able to power that gateway on the other far side, which is why he needs to do it like this. And luckily, because he's planning to take this third, that choke point is kind of on the inside, so his units can go down this ramp and defend that third, and you can even potentially build a battery over here to heal those units on the low ground, which is pretty nice. Now, he's not double chronoing Adepts. I always feel like if you're going to invest in an early block, it is super worth it to send a second chronoed Adept across the map immediately. The Hero's not going to bother. He does wall off, though, to stop the Zerglings getting in. Nice move there. Damages a Zergling. No kills just yet. Third hatchery goes down before it can be blocked. Nice move by Dark. Dude, Dark's going to get the pylon. If he just commits, he could kill the pylon. Ah, he hesitated. I think hesitating was a miscall. Now it's going to survive just barely on 6 hit points. Oh, 20, 16, 12, 8 hit points. 8 hit points. I think he might have killed that if he didn't pause the attacking on it. Oh, damn. That would have been nasty. Now, Hero's wall-off incredibly vulnerable at this point, but Dark's not going to take the bait. Does continue to drone here. Alright, Twilight Council's there as well. Overlord pulling away. We were having a discussion before about, I was saying how like anyone who plays a lot of StarCraft, watches a lot of StarCraft, doesn't stay in Bronze or Silver League for long. And now I'm being flooded by comments in my Twitch chat of people saying, oh no, I feel called out. I was never able to climb out of Bronze. What I'm not seeing in any of those messages is, and I committed a significant amount of time and effort to it. If you hopped on, played a few games here, played a few games there, spread out over a large period of time, that's pretty standard. That's like most people. But if you try-harded, played hours and hours a week for months, weren't able to get out. That's where maybe there was something wrong with your approach to improving at the game. Probably just not watching any videos or following any guides or anything like that. If you're not really in the community, just figuring it out on your own, I'd say it's pretty natural. But if you are watching a lot of StarCraft as well, which is, you know, the 2 precursors to my comment was, if you're doing those things, you know, if you're watching and playing StarCraft all the time, which, yeah, like I'm yet to come across the StarCraft player who doesn't have some sort of disability, who's legitimately stuck in Bronze or Silver after a significant amount of time, you know, invested in a way that kind of makes sense, right? A way that's directed towards, hey, I have a clear goal and I'm trying to get to it. But if you're just screwing around, you're screwing around, and that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong. I was saying before, you know, there are guys who play StarCraft like it's a 4X game. And there's a lot of pausing to scratch their chin, you know, as if it's a turn-based game. And if you want to play like that, you want to play mouse only, not use your keyboard at all, absolutely. hanging out in bronze or silver is a natural place to be. But you also don't really have a right to complain about being hard stuck. If you guys have any contrary thoughts, I'd love to hear them. For now, there was the pylon snipe for Dark, but now he's lost 8 Zerglings and an Overlord and a drone. He does, though, have a Roach Warren, and this is interesting because we were just casting Dark in the semi-finals of this match, of this tournament, and he refused to build a Roach Warren every single game. And I think that just shows that he's a little bit more wary of Hero than some other Protoss players, because he knows Hero might just throw the kitchen sink at him. He doesn't like being forced into Roaches, but he knows he might need them to survive. Building Roaches against Blink Pressure, though, never what you want to do. It's a 5-gate Blink Pressure. Charge on the way. 6 Gateway starts up at home as well. Hero, no probe production, no gases on the 3rd. The Stalker's kind of splitting up here. And looks like he will break those rocks, I would imagine. Oracle turns on the laser. Does get the Creep Tumor. He's not going to break the rocks. I mean, Dark's going to break those for you. Guess it's more of a creep clearing squad than anything. Probe production starts back up. Gases coming down. I mean, this does make Dark paranoid. Dark massing Roaches, making Roach speed +1. Lings come in, find themselves a probe. 2 Adepts and a shield battery, though, easily deflect. Adept on the natural wall is a little exposed, but I like that he's kind of got this backup semi-wall on the left side. Can always warp in a sentry there and force field here if the pylon does go down. Hero needs a lot of redundancy in his defense because he is so prone to leaving that wall unmanned. And as I said, hard to have that Adept in the right position as well. Kind of needs to be standing out front. I think Lings could easily squeeze by in between the pylon and the Adept. Stalkers come forward. 1 Queen takes a lot of damage. Okay, check it out, guys. We've got 11 more Roaches building. It's a Roach max build for Dark. 56 drones! Whoa, his drone count. I mean, he should swap to pure Zergling Ravager production, I think. His 4th base gets denied. Stasis Trap does trap, but Hero, can you defend the absolute avalanche of Roachling coming across this map? It is going to be hard. Warping in Stalkers on top of the Roaches. That's not the play. Oh, no. Hero getting jumped on. He was not expecting Dark to cut economy this early. And he is taking big damage. Those Roaches need to move in on that left side, though. Dark needs to move in. A lot of his Roaches are stuck behind each other and attacking buildings. He's got a micro in there, and he took a bit too long to do it. Finally moving in on the right, the north side. Those probes doing really well. He's got to hold position those Roaches to make sure they keep fighting. Stalkers trying to blink upwards away from these Roaches at the bottom. Stalkers making a valiant effort of defending. Hero trying to go ring around the rosy, circling this mineral line. He's lost a lot of probes, and yet despite that, he is still up 2 workers. How many probes died? 13. I do think Dark failed to hold position with his Roaches there and messed up on his micro just a little bit, but Hero, hats off to him, loses about 4 or 5 Stalkers as the fight starts, still ends up surviving. And that is incredibly, incredibly impressive. Now, if he can energy recharge another Oracle, the lasers are going to ruin this sort of timing in the long run. Drones and a Hydroden coming in as well as +2 range, and about 5 seconds until recharge is available. Stalker's running out to fight this on the front. He wants to micro his heart out, does Hero. It's going to F2 home. 4th base being built here, but I think overall that's a massive win for Hero. Even though he's down in the units lost by 400, I think it's fine. No 4th base for him, though. Transfers down here. I guess he's going to have to take this 4th on the bottom side. That will leave his natural a little exposed. Looks like a Zergling gets blinked on and taken out. Roach Zergling hanging out on the front here. Whoa! Does lose 2 Stalkers. That's costly. Hero cannot be affording losses like this. Doesn't have enough Stalkers to one-shot Roaches either. Loses another Stalker. Man, he's got to be careful. Zealots in the north do deny the 5th hatchery. Good move for him. Storm's on the way. +2 attack as well, but +2 on the way for the Hydras, which are now getting groove spines. Another Stalker going down. Dude, Hero making some doo-doos, and Dark is so happy to punish him. He's lost like 6 Stalkers over the last minute. Hero, keep it together, mate. 26 Stalkers have gone down. Units lost tab. Almost 1,000 behind the Fim. And that Nexus is going to get killed as well. Cancels at the very last second. Immortal Storm trying to come in, but it feels like Dark has messed this game up enough that he's got a massive army advantage. I mean, he's still droning, though. This is what I don't like about Dark's play recently, is he'll make a giant army because he's so paranoid about the Blink Stalkers, and then he'll just start droning and teching at the same time. And I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes he does still find the damage with the attack timing, but it just feels like it's a little bit airy-fairy. It's only half committed, and I mean, at least it keeps him flexible. It's hard for Protoss to read what he's doing, but it also means his timings lack the strength they otherwise could have. If that Robo could get focused, that would be massive. That's the only Robo sitting out front in the third. It's worth targeting that. Oh my gosh. He leaves 2 Roaches. They do finish it off. Roach Hydra gets jumped on, but look at this. He runs in, gets a cancel on the 4th. Losing this army in the bottom, though, very expensive. Muscular Augments was not there. That focus, he loves to go Groove Spines first, and it costs him. Roach's Queen's going to gather up. There's a lot of Zealots, but a big Baller Roach Queen could defend it. I think this is a decent number of units for Dark. At the same time, jumps on the front. Roach Hydra catches the High Templar. Prism saves them. Dude, the Prism save is big, but he's way out front right now, and he loses the Prism, flying it way too close to the sun. 2 High Templar going down inside the Prism. He does energy recharge. Massive storm on the ramp. Massive storm, but you can see the Roaches defended the Zealots at his own 4th base. Dark on 68 workers, double the supply. He's messed the game up with a 56 drone commitment to Mass Roach. And this is how ZvP goes, man. Protoss has all the tools to see everything that's happening, but if you're too focused on clearing creep and just zooming around the edges, you miss the important information. Let me show you what was the important information that he missed, because a lot of people ask these questions, and that is, guys, anywhere from 6.5, or let's say 6 to 7 minutes, he could have seen that there was drones missing, except he couldn't because Dark's very clever and fully saturated this base. There's only 1 drone missing on minerals. So you might think, well, where are the missing drones? Here. 2 drones missing on minerals, no gases. Up here, missing a drone on minerals. So he's only on 56 workers, but if you just see the 3rd base, it looks normal. You actually need to zip into the natural, see the lack of gases. And if you don't see that, you're really not going to realize what's happening. And because the Oracles and Stalkers are just going around, kind of chipping away, and most games, players aren't going to 70 workers every game. Hero kind of just took that as an assumption, and he took a bit too much damage when that big attack came in. So really beautiful move by Dark, as always, disguising his intentions, and he takes map 1. All right, guys. We've got Hero in the top right side of the map. The opening was going okay for him, but I do think if you're going to block the hatchery early, double chrono those Adepts, boy. Get in there and punish that exposed base. I think Dark really struggles to keep up with heavy pressure openings from Hero. But Hero's been very passive lately, and I think it's really done him so well against the European Zergs. He's almost always coming out on top against them, but as he's made it his mainstay style, it has made things a bit weird. Now, there is an opening there, guys, so it looks like he's going to go Cybercore down here. He's going to leave the opening in the middle of the wall, and Dark is going to answer with a hatch block. Now, when you go for this, you should be ready for the hatchery block as Hero, and you should send a probe down to your natural about now to check for it. He's not doing it. Yes, he is. He's sending it. He's sending it. And guess what? The hatchery shouldn't get down. Now, Dark did hide on top of the ramp, gets the hatchery on his natural, but it's still very delayed. But now you can block the hatchery from going down. As long as you bring another probe down, you can win the fight. And as long as he keeps moving, do not let that drone get enough space away from a probe to place a hatchery. Hatchery is a big chunky structure. As long as you've always got 1 probe near it, it's not going to be able to place it down. Nexus only barely delayed there. And the gas and pool are quite delayed, guys. Both delayed by about 8 seconds. Hatchery delayed by about 10 seconds. So 10, maybe 13 seconds on the hatchery, 8 seconds on that. Nexus delayed about 7-8 seconds as well. Dark trying to block the second gas from being taken. But it's not a big delay. Not at all. So very close game here. Did Dark just kill the probe? Dark just killed the probe! Who got the kill? Let's find him. Who's the champ? Someone just got that kill. Who was it? I will find you. Wait. Was it back on this side of that? Was it this guy? It wasn't this guy. Oh, maybe it was this guy. No, surely not. All right, I got to find the guy with the single kill, guys. This is professional commentary, by the way. If you guys ever want to be a pro esports commentator, remember the bar is low. You guys, like anyone who vaguely understands the game and actually wants to stay focused on the action. I can't find it. It must have been one of the drones that built the gas or the pool. He must have killed it and then built the gas and pool. Damn it. So guys, unfortunately buildings don't get kill counters, but otherwise we'd be able to see one of those has a kill. I don't know which one it is. I think it's the spawning pool. So this spawning pool has a kill. The Adept has a kill now as well. Very nice. Yeah, we'll have to rewind the replay for that one. It's good because Hero is known for going inside the mineral line to harass the workers, and very few players will pull their probes to try and stop it. But good to punish him once in a while and really make him pay for that. Second gateway goes down, does delay the Oracle, but only by a second, like 3-4 seconds, not a big deal. We should post a bet. Oh, if we've got any mods on right now, Senju is in the chat. Can you post a gamble? Those watching live, this is if you guys watch live on my stream when I'm casting these games, you get to gamble imaginary internet currency on whether it's a spawning pool or an extractor that killed the probe. Get that one in. I don't know how long this game goes for. Maybe just a 2-minute bet on that, I think. Depth Shade comes forward. Oracle comes in from behind. This is Starchild, by the way, guys. Maris's map. Very good map. 2 Adepts coming in along with the Oracle. Oracle does not want to fight those queens, though. Cancel the Shade. Oracle grabs 2 drones. 3 drones. Woof, juicy. This is the sort of damage I was talking about that Hero so commonly finds in this matchup. Really good aggression. Cancels the Shade. I wouldn't mind him recalling the Adepts, but it looks like he's really going to push for another advantage. Already forces a drone to cancel. Almost gets the lava there. Could double down on killing that egg, but it will regen life pretty quickly, so going to be tough. Third Nexus on the way. 2 more Adepts coming in. And we've got ourselves another Oracle in production. That's the third one. These 2 are going to dive. Looks like one of them is going to go down in the back if the Queens pursue it, but they are distracted as 4 drones go down. See that Oracle there? And actually, he's in range of getting hunted, but I think Dark's going to assume that Oracle already got out of there, not realize he's sitting in range. As Queen heads over in that direction, she's going to find it. She moves to the edge. I do think she's just barely able to hit that. And indeed she is. If this Queen moves there, that Oracle's dead if it doesn't recall. Dark not taking advantage, though, missing an opportunity. We'll check in on that in a little bit. I'll keep that one selected. You can see its hit points and shields down there as it tries to regen. We've got 7 Adepts, 3 Oracles on the map. One of those Oracles pinned in the back, but now the Queens are coming forwards along with these just 8 Zerglings to try and defend. And that is a lot. The drones have to run away. 18 more Lings about to pop, though. Oracle's going to try and escape here. Hero uses the Adepts to escort her out of trouble. Adepts getting surrounded potentially. Yep. But only a few Zerglings here. The rest is still popping out. Coming out of these base, though, and they will be able to swarm it. Oracle's on the right side, grabbing another 2 workers. Adept Shade into the main. And they're going to grab another 2 drones before they go down. Really juicy play here for Hero. Feels like he's got so many kills. 12 drones, 12 Zerglings for 7 Adepts. Great start. He's probed behind it. He's got +1 in Blink. He's going from 2 gates up to 6 gateways. 4 gases mining. Feels like a very smooth start. And, of course, Dark only now building the 4th base. I do love that. That's a really good move. Drop the creep there. Go put a tumor under that. But of course, we are looking at Dark, which means every Queen is on the same control group, and he's spamming injects using shift-click instead. Fair enough. Sneaky Spire! Hello! Look at that hidden next to that ledge there. Dirty boy. Wants to get the surprise Mutalisks out. It's been a bad start for Dark, though, so I have a feeling Rain is out there going, see, Mutalisks are bad. Because, well, Mutas are best when you have a good start, right? It's a surprise tactic. It's not going to hit very hard unless Hero's uncharacteristically defensive, but Hero cancelling the 4th base feels confident to go Templar, Archives, and 6 gas. He is going to go straight Storm. That is a very defensive style, but 3 base against 3 base feels good for Hero to be doing that. Oh! Alright, Oracle. Oracle's going to pull to that right side. My phone makes weird beeping noises at me. Ling's going to poke in on the 3rd. +2 range. Charge on the way. Stalker's coming out at the perfect moment. Spire's just finished. And there we go. 7 Mutalisks coming out. +1 melee, not quite there. +1 flyer attacks on the way. But Hero, he's going to push. He's going to push hard. 3 Oracles are going to deny the 4th base yet again. This is so bad for Dark. He cancels it at the very last second. 11 Mutalisks building. Stalkers thinking about blinking away. I'm going to go for 2 more gateways. Someone was asking, why don't we ever see Phoenix range? And I said, well, no one plays Mutalisks. If people played Mutalisks more, we'd see more Phoenix range. Well, unfortunately for Hero, he has no idea, though. Even though economically he's in a great spot, he hasn't seen a single Roach or Hydra. It's almost 8 minutes. I mean, he's got to start feeling a little suspicious, surely. Oh, he revelates, but the mutas are already flying across the map down the south. Stasis trap, I don't think it saw them. Then again, maybe it did. He must have seen it. I think the stasis trap just saw Mutalisks fly over it, guys. Go to Hero's vision. He's going to keep attacking with the Stalkers. He's building a ton of cannons at home. He realizes what's happening. Stasis Trap going to save the day here on the front. Meanwhile, Mutas are on his mineral line. He's not quite ready for it. He's got to recall that. He's got to recall. He does recall using his control group for his natural nexus. It's a manual recall. Nicely done. Stalkers trying to frantically get up there. Let's go back to everyone's camera so we don't get bloody dizzy. 12 workers go down. A very successful first Mutalisk wave, but he needs more than that. He's got his 4th up. Only now does Dark. And his worker count's terrible. Massively supply blocked. He's building 8 overlords at once. He needs to be at 80 drones yesterday. 66 drones is not enough to play against this. Now, Hero should go armor as soon as +2 is finished. He's not going to do that because pro gamers don't study their upgrades, guys. When you're playing against Muta Zergling, armor and shield upgrades are the most important things. Not only will they help your Archons a lot if you go shields, but it is always about low damage, high frequency of attacks with Zerglings and Mutalisk bounces. Mutalisk attack bounces twice, which means it's 3 total attacks, and armor would be the prime upgrade against this if you're focusing especially on heavy Stalkers. I don't think Hero's going to do it, but I'd love to see him make that adjustment under pressure. He's stuck on 3 base, but he's going to be building a nice army, right? Storm Stalker will wreck Muta Zergling in a frontal fight, but the Muta Zergling is going to be much more mobile. 2 Mutas have gone down for 13 probes and a Stalker. Massling in the north, nice revelation. 10 gases are up. 80 probes, or drones I should say, are up for Dark as well. No Baneling Nest, no Roachhorn. It's pure Zergling Muta, he has to base trade. You do not want to fight this army head on. Fighting this army head on would be absolutely insane! He's gonna do it though! Dark, the Mad Lad, does take out those High Templar very early with the Zerglings. The Archons are gonna finish morphing. Crazy to fight the army head on. This is a base trade army at its core. But he goes for that engage, loses 76 Zerglings and 7 more Mutalisks. He's up in supply, but is it enough? The Archons have morphed. A big Link Surround could be massive. He goes for the armor, by the way. Hero knows his business. Maybe he was just short on gas, but I'm just amazed because I feel like no Protoss player does this. Hero maybe understanding this situation a lot deeper than a lot of Protoss players. Goes for the armor, realizing that is huge in this situation. Muta's going to go for the natural cannons are there. Zealot Stalker running in the front, fighting that with pure Zergling. Not going to go well for him. The Archon Zealot wrecking the Zerglings. This is where you wish you had some Roaches or something. I mean, Roaches aren't very supply efficient, but yeah, you kind of need to swap back into them in this position or get all the Mutalisks home. How many Mutalisks he lost? 20! 20 Mutalisks have gone down. A recall would be absolutely primo here for Hero, but instead he's going to run forward, try to join up. Massive stasis traps. Hero had a good start to this game. Denies the 4th multiple times after that good start. And Dark tries to get sneaky with Mutalisks. Surprises him with the first wave. But when we have to realize, losing so many workers in the early game is a little bit of a disaster. Alright, guys. Hero in the left side, the bottom left of El Dorado, the Lost City of Gold. And he's going to be going for the opening on the outside, not the inside of the wall. Interesting choice. Crew, aka Dark on the bottom right side. I don't know why it's Crew. I think that's like his old Korean clan, right? Was it? Oh, there was something Crew. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't Kaisi Crew, was it? It was something before that. Either way, I think he's still representing Talon Esports for the moment as Dark, I believe. But he's going to be going out, getting blocked again. So we go for the hatchery block. I think Hero is very good at stopping the hatchery block these days. Dark pretends to go to the 3rd and then diverts. Do we hide another drone? Yes, we do. Hides that on the left side. Probe doesn't see it. Oh. Probe turns around. Drone. This drone's like, let me down there. I don't want to take my 3rd. And he sneaks by. He sneaks by. Really good play by Dark to sneak by. But his hatchery is still going to be delayed 20 seconds. I think you're far better off doing a pull first in this scenario if you're not planning to hatchery block. But since he's planning to hatchery block, that's its own thing. Now, Hero needs to very quickly pull another probe. He's already doing it. Oh, Hero is so good. Dark has used this build too many times, and he's overused it. And this is something I've been very critical of Dark in the ZvP matchup of over the last few years, is overusing the same little toolkit. And this is one where Hero is one of the few players who consistently doesn't let him get that hatchery down, and it's kind of shocking when you look at it now. It's always this, like, this is the way it works, right? In competition, one player just changes the way they do something, and we all go, why weren't all the Protoss players doing that the whole time? He does this so often. But Hero, after playing like 600 semis and finals against Dark over the last 3 years, is like, you know what? How about I don't let him build the hatchery that he builds every second game in my natural? You gotta wonder sometimes, like, players are so busy competing and playing, and if you don't get together and really study your opponents or have a coach there analyzing them, sometimes there's big things that get missed. That's why I really admire the Lambos and the Shins, you know, especially from the Zerg side, but I guess like Zaun for Protoss would be a good example. Maybe Gummio for Terran. Players who really study and look for openings in the meta, openings in their opponent's builds to take advantage of. This drone should probably have tried to get out before the Adept is here, but I think he's just going to use it to lure the Adept back into the main base. See what we can do. Adept comes out. We've got a probe over there as well. 2 Lings coming forward and another drone. Adept shading after the drone. Oh! And the drone does get taken out very nicely. Ling speed is there as well. How many queens are we looking at right now? 2 queens. Third one's just started. Overlord has not started dark. You can't be getting supply blocked on 36. Bro! Okay, he builds the Overlord, but it's pretty late. Sorry, his 36 supply block is like really early. You should not be getting supply blocked that early. Now, he's got an Overlord sneaking in the back. And it's Void Ray first, but Hero diverts his Void Ray. He senses that there could be an Overlord there. Sniping, that's going to be big. Alright, extra Overlords building. Dark's done a pretty good job. We go for a Creep Tumor. And the Void Ray does find it. No perving for you, backdoor bandit. That's what I'm going to call an Overlord from now on, guys. If they try to sneak in from the back of your base, that's a backdoor bandit, that is. That's what that phrase means. It doesn't mean anything else. Nope. 2 more Spore Crawlers coming in. One in the main, one in the natural. Very quick Forge and Twilight. Whoa! We're playing a charge opening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Void Ray into charge, but he does go 4 gas. Archon Zealot pressure. Archon Zealot pressure. Void Ray did nice scouting into Archon Zealot. Dark's going to confirm that there's a 3rd base in a moment with this circling. Oracle flies in the main. Oh, he goes for the Chad Stasis Trap on the opponent's face. Gets the paint chipped off him. Takes a little bit more damage, a few hits extra. Dark did see this 3rd base. Got a lair coming in very early. I think he wants to go straight Hydras. And it's... Now you guys might be wondering, why did I misread this build order? It's because Hero's build is not optimized and doesn't make sense. There's no reason for him to go Twilight and Forge that early. Oh, he gets the Oracle! Dark gets the Oracle! This is a absolutely ridiculous build order for Hero. He's going for the fastest +1 and blink of all time, but he's got no gateways. So he's going to have like 6 Stalkers when they... I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. It is just a little weird to have delayed those gases on the natural. Normally you always go 4 gas. Twilight and Forge usually goes down earliest 430, usually about 450, 445. He's gone for it 30 to 50 seconds early. He's got the upgrades in that earlier. But he doesn't really have the unit production to take advantage. So he's actually a bit vulnerable if Dark was doing one of those crazy Dark all-ins that he's known for. He's not, though. He's going +1 range, Roach, Warren. Only 3 gases and insta-Hydrodence. This is what I call a fake Warren, guys. He does not want to be using that Roach Warren. He wants to just... What? He's going Roach? Okay. Wow, color me surprised, guys. I don't think Dark has enough gas to go Roaches and Hydras right now. He's going to try, though. He's trying to go for like a classic Roach Hydra, but it's weird because the Hydrodon is so early. I guess he can always cancel Roach Speed, and I really think he should. Since it seems like he's beelining towards Hydras, I think he should cancel Roach Speed in this scenario and try to get those Hydra upgrades ASAP. You got the Hydrodon. If he could go Augments first as well, it would be legendary. Stalkers are there. He always goes Groove Spines first. He loves that upgrade. Loves the defensive range on the Hydras. Okay, this is going to be really interesting. 18 more Zerglings building. Still no Roaches. This is what I'm talking about. He's trying to play Ling Hydra. But, yeah. But he's making Roach Speed just in case. And that'll be good against Colossus. If he lets that finish, it'll actually be good for setting him up once he realizes this is a Colossus Stalker push. Okay. 6 gates for Hero. Semi-walled. Stalkers in the middle. Probe and Stalker on the watchtower. Stalker's nice blink forward. Traps a few Zerglings. Mass Hydra building. Okay, Dark's stuck on 68 workers. Massing Hydras. He needs to drop an infestation and go immediately for Hive. Lurkers and Vipers are the counter to the Robo Bay. Colossus or Disruptors, either one will get wrecked by Vipers. Roaches will help on the front line against Colossus. That first Colossus has already started. Extended Thermal Lance beginning as well. It's a very long, slow, laborious upgrade. 100 seconds, so good to get that going now. And he's going to take the fourth down the bottom, his hero. Of course, Zergling denies it temporarily. No workers on the fourth. Infestation Pit goes down. Did he just see the Robo Bay? He did not. Infestation Pit goes down. Dark, I'm wondering where the pointy edges are in his play. Where is the threat? Because he doesn't really have a Hydra Link time. He makes 11 drones in an Infestation Pit, but he's doing it reactively. This is the problem with Dark's ZvP right now. He's often, if he's not going for one of his early all-ins, of which aren't as successful with the Oracle Recharge, he's going at 70 drones, making 1 billion units, and his Hive is just never on time. And if you're never rushing a Hive effectively, not even once, it's just not as scary to play against you. Serral, very scary to play against. Sometimes his Hive kicks in at 7 minutes, and that is frightening to play against. Queen does catch the Prism on the backside. Good defense for Dark there. Shuts that one down. Problem is he's just gone to 76 drones. He doesn't have gases on his fourth. His Hive has still not started, and he's essentially doing an incredibly late Roach Hydra all-in. Stalker Colossus should be well suited to stop this. Colossus not the best against Roaches, but man, that Hive is just so late. It feels like Dark, you know, he's being forced into a relatively standard game here, but it's partially of his own making. He's the guy who decided to go Roaches and Hydras and things without really having any sort of sharp timing attack available. And don't get me wrong, Heroes unit comp will scale out, but it's just the supply is dangerously close between these two. What was that? Looks like an observer, I think, just went down there. Roach Hydra coming forward. Stalker Micro should be able to chip away at these units. Damaging a few Roaches, taking out a Zergling or two. Fifth base does rebuild on this location. Templar Archives is going to be key, guys. If you can get High Templar out before the Vipers are out, you feedback them. You add Psystorm for more reliable splash damage, and you can just force this to late game as Hero. I think Hero should also drop a second Robo, and then think about Fleet Beacon. He's already maxed. He's going to try and get some damage done before going to that stage. And honestly, I don't know if Dark can beat this. He's going to need to flank this army. Roach is up top, getting surrounded. He's going to go for the big engage. Hydra's walking to the Colossus, though. Big flank from the north. Roaches marching on forwards, trying to focus down these units. But the Colossus, look at the way they stutter step back. The Stalkers blink behind the minerals. Beautiful micro here for Hero. Pulling away and avoiding the surround. Is still very close to even on the units lost, which you'd think is amazing for the Zerg. You gotta remember that worker count ain't great. Dark's got 2 Vipers on the way. He's got Nanomuscular Swell as well. A few Roaches run north, 4 Roaches versus 4 Zealots. Now, Zealots beat Roaches head to head if you don't stutter step the Roaches. But the more Roaches you get, the more of a ball of them you get, the more they can own the Zealots. And indeed, you can see here, Roach Hydra's up top. 5th Nexus down the bottom. Hero's also got the double gas on the 4th base. Second Robo out front, a few more gateways to go to 10 gateways. Still no sign of a Fleet Beacon, so Tempests aren't really on the radar just yet. It's weird that Colossus can't walk over those minerals. Man, have you ever got up, anyone with kids, in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and you step on a piece of Lego? That's what that would feel like. Technically, yes, the Colossus could do that, but you're not going to choose to do it. That's like the worst thing imaginable. That Colossus is like, ow, no way. Billy left his Lego out the other night. I stepped on some of it. Never again. Worse than stubbing your toe, mate. Gonna pull back here with the Stalkers. Fleet Beacons on the way. Storm and Shields as well. Ooh, blink forward with the Stalkers, but oh, the feedbacks. Okay, there's still one Viper on the right. Oh my gosh, dude, is he actually gonna break Hero? I can't believe it. Gets one abduct. Good stutter step. Only 2 Immortals, no more Storms. Oh, if he could energy recharge one of those High Templar Storms would wreck him, but no. chasing in. The Roach Hydra kind of gets wrecked. I got excited for a second because I was like, hey, the numbers don't seem that heavy. Then Hero came in with the rest of his reinforce, and that is a very one-sided engagement. Dark playing a bit of a flaccid style this game. Just no real chance for him to make a big play with this. Going Roach Hydra and not really doing that much else. It just, like I said, it lacks sharp edges, and I mean, it's hard to take down Protoss on this map. But it did feel like Dark wasn't really setting himself up for a particularly sharp timing to begin with. Wasn't really optimized for a Roach Hydra attack, and definitely needs to be a little more decisive. Nice to duck to one of those Colossus. Good dodges against the Storms. All you need to do as Hero here is fall back, keep landing Storms. Oh, no Storm right now, only one Colossus. Good chase for Dark. Dark getting some good damage. He's caught Hero being too greedy on the map. Hero needs to just remake High Templar, refill them with energy recharge, and he should be dominating. Hydra, Roach, Viper. It's a very basic army. 13 minutes. It's well past its use by date. Dark has won many a series, many a tournament with the army equivalent of spilt milk. It's a very moldy army. But I don't know if anyone grew up with parents who maybe, you know, they grew up in a bit more of a scarcity mindset. And you go, that chicken smells rancid. And they're like, we're going to cook it up and it'll be fine. It'll kill all the germs on it. That's essentially Dark right now with Roach Hydra up against Storm Immortal Colossus. It's out of date. It should not work, but he's going to try to make it work anyway. Says, kids, that's valuable protein. I can't afford to buy a new batch. We're eating the rancid chicken. The Roach Hydra down there. Zealots trying to get in on top. It looks like they're going to overwhelm. The whole position drone's not quite enough. A few more Roaches do arrive up here. Colossus Immortal Storm coming forwards. The Roach Hydra's pulling back. Run away with those drones and the Queen. 7 more Lurkers coming in. 11 drones being built. It's just, you don't ever want to fight into a choke point against this man. You do not want to be fighting into a choke point with this, guys. If the milk has chunks in it when you pour it out of the carton, no. Pour it down the sink. Get rid of it. It's not good for drinking. Dark right now is like, you know what might make it good, though? What if I throw the milk on my opponent's face? It might blind them. He's going to go for the Nidus one. This is the throwing the dirt in your opponent's eyes, throwing the spilt milk in their face. I don't think he's got a good chance here. His army is much worse, but he's got Lurkers with range. There's always a chance with the Nidus. Talks about the Overlord being the backdoor bandit. He did die earlier, which means there'll need to be an Overseer going across. Hero's just going to bust like a crazy man. Good Blinding Clouds, though. Blinding Clouds hold the position. Roach Hydra takes out a few of these units, but he walks into his own Blinding Clouds a little. Those Vipers need to start consuming energy right now. Mama's coming in. Roach Hydra moving around. The Vipers pull back. The Lurkers moving north. You can see a little sloppy on his controllers, Dark. There we go. Finally starts consuming again. Cloak comes in. Oh, the Time Warp is massive on those Lurkers, and they don't have any support. Dark's gone across the map with his entire Roach Hydra force, and he will take down the 5th base, but he loses his 5th base as well, which means 4 base first, 4 base. Protoss normally happy with that. If he can keep breaking these positions, Overseer's going to start to get busted down. Lurkers on top of the ramp trying to hold the choke point. Hydra's trying to fall back. Roach Hydra on the south running forwards. There isn't that much to defend. A few Stalkers, a few Cannons. Roach Hydra's going to do pretty well versus that. Northern base, the 3rd base going down though for Zerg. High Templar almost exposed, but good pullback for Hero. Gets his High Templar and Colossus away from the high ground Lurkers. It's going to be back to 3 base and 3 base, but that's going to be better for Protoss because he's kind of in amongst the Zerg economy. He recalls a single Colossus. Oh, a couple of the Ducks come in. A couple of Immortals get taken down. Lovely play. But Mama down the bottom, and that's going to scare this Roach Hydra back. The Roach Hydra, Dark accidentally leaves a few of them behind. He finds a few Immortals in the mid-ground, but he's got to watch out for the Storm. It's bath time, says Hero, you dirty Zerg player. Starts scrubbing viciously behind the ears of that Zerg. And Dark right now does not have an income lead. It's equal income. He's down in supply. Equal army supply of Roach Hydra. There are 11 High Templar on this map. I imagine most of those will be morphing into Archons. You should be able to shoot Lurker tentacles and do damage to them. Oh, that's true. Maybe it's like its most armored bit, though. It's like shooting a Rhino in the tusk, you know? It's not the most effective. It's like the opposite of hitting the weak point, you know? Drone does get taken down. Hero's army's big. His economy's looking pretty good as well as he retakes the top left base. Oh, man. Cloaking Field comes in. Dark just cannot deal with it. I think we've got to go back in this game and look at Dark's position because I don't think the early game was bad for him. If we go to like 5.5 minutes, 6 minutes, I don't think this early game was bad. Was it? He lost a couple units, but he killed the Oracle. This is a fantastic early game. But he didn't do anything with it. I think that's... Dark really... Maybe just the Void Ray had him a bit afraid. But not really. He goes straight to 66 workers. But the Hydroden was so weird. Now, the reason the Hydroden's so weird, guys, is because he's going, like, really fast Hydras, but he's also committing to Roaches. But it didn't feel like he was gearing up for, like, a really specific Roach Hydra all-in where he drops in the main at the same time or something like that, right? It kind of felt like he was just doing stuff. And what I feel like in Dark's play in this matchup recently, and I think he's going to have to break out of this in the next games to have more success, is it's like he's just waiting for the Blink Stalkers to come and punish him. I feel like the Blink Stalker pressure is something Serral, easily best player in the world in this matchup right now, is never really... He's so well prepared to shut down the Blink Stalkers while getting ahead and rushing Hive. And it feels like Dark wants to go Hive, but he's incapable of doing that and defending the Stalkers. So he has to just focus everything on massing army to defend the Stalkers. But then he ends up with this massive army and a really late Hive tech. And that just feels bad. Doesn't feel like an effective play. Yeah. I can't say I'm a big fan of this one. Like, +2. There's no attack. What are we doing? I definitely feel like we needed to see more of a plan for Dark rather than just sitting here waiting for Hero to make a mistake. Hero played pretty good. He goes up 2-1. All right, going into Frostline. Let's hope Dark shows a bit more of that oomph. You know, I would have liked to say, like, I like the Mutalisk play. If he did that game off of that better start, I think it has a really good shot of working, but it's a shame that Dark kind of uses up, I would say, the good start of the early game there against Hero. Because I always feel like, man, getting a good early game against Hero is not easy. He's so often ahead by 7 minutes against Serral, Raynor, Dark, all the top Zergs, Rogue, he's been manhandling. Yeah. Alright, Dark just refuses to build his hatchery early, right? He just goes for a 16 hatchery. Chill. Not willing to compromise on his opening. Happy to play the dance with the old delayed hatchery proxy hatch attempt. But Hero's been blocking that really well. So if this does go to game 5, whatever map it is, I want to see Dark go for a 14 or a 15 hatchery. But it just feels like he never does that. And now that Hero's blocking his hatchery block, which I think was one of his better openings, it seems like I think he's got to make sure he gets his natural on location, especially if it's one of these maps with a really far away third. Alright, Nexus goes down. Probe just being a nuisance there. As long as he doesn't go to the inside of the mineral line, that probe is not going to be going down. Dark does have 3 workers on one patch, on this middle patch, guys. It's a big mistake. You don't want 3 on one patch. You notice he's only got 1 worker on this patch here. If Hero harasses that mineral patch, he might fix Dark's mining for him. But he needs to harass this one. It's going to cost him a lot of mining if that does, because that won't naturally fix itself. That could cost him a lot of mining over the course of this game, and it's unlikely at this point Dark's ever going to pay attention to that again. Yeah, this is huge. He's only got 1 worker on this patch. Okay, at least that one fixes itself. And he fixed it! He noticed it! Okay, Dark fixed it. It's a bit of inefficiency. Definitely lost him a good 20 minerals or so. But if you leave that for the whole game is the real concern. Losing 20 minerals, not the end of the world. But if you leave it for the entire game, that's where it really adds up. So glad to see that Dark paid attention to that detail, fixed up his mining in his main, pulled off gas, made ling speed, made a 3rd hatchery. And it's interesting. He's going to go 32 supply drones. And does he go 3rd Queen, then Overlord? I think he seems to be doing as standard. So yeah, he goes 32 Queen, and then Overlord on 34, right? Yeah, okay, no, he's sticking to it. He's remembering that 36 Overlord pretty well. It's a later Overlord, but it's absolutely okay. I was thinking he'd forgotten it in the last game. But he just takes his third hatchery a bit earlier than some players, and he goes for the Overlord a little bit later, which is perfectly valid. It's natural to get a bit supply blocked on 36. You need to save up money to start that next Overlord ahead of time anyway. So that's actually a pretty tight opening. Oh, hero with a good wall off. Don't see that every day. So nice secure wall off. Second gateway, Oracle's on the way as well. Hero's taken a big lead in the head-to-head between these two recently. Kind of funny because even though Hero has had the winning advantage against Dark for a long time, even going back as far as Gamers 8, 2023, Hero was saying, I hate playing against Dark. He's always in my head. He always knows what I'm going to do next. I hate playing against him. He's so hard to play against. And then I interviewed Dark and I asked him about his rivalry. And he said the exact same thing. Hero's always in my head. I never know what he's going to do. Can't predict anything he's going to do next. It's insanely hard to play against him. And I was like, oh, so you guys both kind of hate playing against each other? They're like, yeah, he always catches me off guard. And they both said it about each other. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, this does explain your series. You guys have ever watched these two play, it's pretty unpredictable what's going to happen in a lot of the games, right? It's very topsy-turvy. Leads are often thrown away. Crazy comebacks are clawed back from difficult positions all the time. Oracle's going to rotate. We'll find the fourth hatchery that's just started. Could blast that down. It's an easy target. Looks like he's diverted home. Third Oracle comes out. This time it's a more standard build. Third and fourth gas into Forge and Twilight just after 4 minutes 40. So a bit more of a normal kind of path. Massling is going to revelate it. The Adepts are separated right now. These Oracles will guard. Oh, he turns on the lasers. Gets himself a few Zerglings. Not bad, not bad. Actually, really good play by Hero. Wow! He's already killed like 10 Zerglings, man. Laz on the way. No Roach Warren this time. Dark said, let's be greedy, bro. Let's play Hydraling. 6 queens are on the map. Double gas goes down. It's going to take him up to 3 gases. Dark will need a bit more gas than that, but he likes to play low gas with his Hydraling style. He essentially plays it as just mass Ling Queen, and then he'll explode into Hydras a little bit later. Very Zerg vs. Terran style. Hard against Glaive Adepts, but against this sort of Adept pressure, it should be acceptable. 8 Adepts with no upgrades. Lings can deal with that. Fifth base down the bottom. Hydroden is on the way. I do think Dark's a little lazy on the Hydroden's start timing. Maybe not lazy, but just delayed. Not as tight on it as he could be. Let's see, though. I really hope if he can start within 5 seconds, hopefully even less, hopefully just 1 or 2 seconds. Oh, drones in the open, though. Oh, great distraction. Right as the Hydroden finishes as well, which means Dark will be distracted from starting those upgrades. 4 drones going down. And a big delay on these upgrades. There we go. So he goes Groove Spines. Doesn't queue up Augments just yet, the movement speed. 67 workers, 6 gases. Oh, third Oracle comes in, gets another 2 drones and forces double spore. And an extractor. Only one of those spores going to be allowed to finish, of course, by Dark. Now, Dark's going Hydraling, but once again, he's going past 70 drones. If he wants to do a Hydraling timing, he should be doing nothing but mass Hydraling right now. If he goes to 8, he's making 15 workers, but no infestation pit. Is Dark just going to try and drown him in pure Hydraling, or is he once again just going for the latest hive of all time? Dark's been playing some really weird styles. He's kind of halfway between being all in, halfway between macroing, and it works if the Protoss makes a big mistake, but if they play clean, I don't like the chances of it working out. Stalker's getting surrounded by Lings. Nice catch there by Dark. Gets a few of the Stalkers. Hydras, they've got Crew Spines, but no Muscular Augments on the way. It's a big mistake. Dark should realize as he runs off creep, these Hydras are slow, man. And Dark should pull back to the safety of creep and get that Hydra upgrade. He clicks it. There we go. He realizes. Does click that Hydra upgrade, but it's going to be about a minute out. Meanwhile, 3 base setup, plus 2 attacks on the way, plus 1 armor. And of course, the Templar Archives coming down at the 3rd base. Very exposed. Could get sniped. Dark's on 85 workers as he goes for the latest infestation pit and lurker den of all time. This is not a bug. I was criticizing him for making the mistake of going for an almost 8-minute lurker den and infestation earlier today. Turns out it's not a mistake. It is a feature, guys. It's something he's doing on purpose. It's odd because it's so late. He needs to get damage done with the Hydraling. I do think the double upgrade style is weak against this. Armor upgrades, as nice as they are not nearly as important as getting out that Psy Storm and getting up a 4th base. If you can defend 4 base, a lot of Psy Storm, grow your army size, you'll be looking good. But right now, Hero is down in supply. I've started up. Adds a little bit of progression here to Dark. Alright, 8 gateways. Zealot's going to run down the south side along with some Adepts, but he's out of position right now. Dark recall. Oh, Hero recalls. Nice move. Storm still 30 seconds out. He needs that Storm before this Hydraling attack happens. Muscular Augments is done. Adept Zealot in the south is going to run in here. It's a bunch of Zealots, a bunch of Adepts shading forward as well. Queens are going to try and hold the choke point. Nice defense for Dark. Dark, one Queen does go down. Link's trying to get on top. Queens are getting taken down without transfusing. Stalkers get caught in the open. They have to fall back. Storm still 10 seconds away. Pushing. Oh, the Oracle runs in and dies. Hero a little sloppy with his micro, but his 4th base gets denied down south. The Adept Zealot does some decent damage, but yeah, kills Queens. Doesn't get rid of the drones or the Hydras, though. Storm. Oh, Storm wounding this army. Dark, though, could surround it and shut it down. He's on 5 bases, going up to a 6th down here, up against a 3-base Protoss. But with nice upgrade advantage and a lot of Storm, Hero could make some magic happen. Quite literally, he can make magic happen with that many High Templar gathering energy. Immortals being added. Hero needs this 4th base up yesterday. Comes in now, but Dark has had an economic advantage and economic momentum for quite a while in this game. Nidus when I'm coming in for Dark as well. It's a great finisher. If you can Nidus in their main base with some lurkers, it could be winning. Okay, Ling Hydra going for a bit of a wraparound. Plasma Shields coming in. I do like Plasma Shields. Interesting that he's skipping +3 for it, but +1 Plasma Shields will upgrade a lot quicker than +3 attack. Lots of Lings and Hydras. 17 Hydras, 5 Lurkers, 84 Zerglings. Not much of an answer to those Zerglings other than Storm. The Zealot count is very low. Even these just couple of spread out Lurkers doing okay. Remember, Dark does have a lot of money. He's got to be careful to not let those Hydras get jumped on. Hydra Ling from both sides. He's trying to come in. If Dark could full surround this, it could be massive. But the Storms, the Stalkers microing well. Hero falling back right now. The Lings are a problem. The way Dark's kind of going in with just a few Lings at a time, he's not giving him a chance to just storm them all in one big bundle. And remember, without a 4th base, Hero's money is so low. You can make a fleet beacon. I don't think that should be a priority right now. Hero's broke on 140 supply. He should be doubling down on ground units. He's still trying to attack into the enemy lurkers. I guess he thinks Mothership might be his ticket out of Trouble Town. But actually, he's got Dark kind of on the ropes defensively, or at least in terms of the position. Zealot flank takes out a lurker. Stalkers blink in. Great Storm. The Hydras do swell their way away from that one. 4th base is up, but Hero has not transferred probes. He never transfers probes. He's always late on that. It's a feature of his play as well. He's got to transfer these workers. He starts building 4 at a time, but mate, he can transfer 8 from his main, 8 from his natural, and instantly fully saturated. He's going to recall something down there. A bunch of Immortal and High Templar. I guess he figures he's going to get flanked and caught out of position. So he just leaves a few Stalkers here, which will blink back. And if he can defend this base, he might be okay, but this leaves his natural wide open. That's a problem. Immortal caught out. Hydra's are going to swell on that for sure. They won't be able to resist. Yeah, Dark's going to jump on top. Stalker Immortal trying to fall away. Army in the south. Nidus to reinforce with the Lurkers. How many Lurkers? He got 11! 11 Lurkers is a pretty big count. High Templar coming forward along with the Stalker Immortal. The Immortal barely survives as the Storm scares Dark backwards. Hydraling down there, starting to have trouble with the Archon Zergling, but as the Lurkers come out, you're going to find yourself in trouble as Hero. Lurkers gaining position, and of course also setting up for a rotation in the middle of the map. Hero's army split between 2 opposite sides. Mothership 3/4 of the way done, but she's not here yet. Lurkers setting up a forward siege position across the gap. Get out of there, Hero! Get out of there! Hero loses 3 High Templar and 2 Archons! Oh, we forgot to hold position. That's a big mistake. The Knight is swarming the main base, distracting him. That severely weakens his southern position. He doesn't have energy recharge, which means he doesn't have storm, which means these lurkers can now march forward. Ling's on the north, lurkers in the south. He's going to throw up another Knight is swarming. The whole army coalesces onto this single weak point. And Hero, his fourth base, so hard to get it up this entire game. He finally gets it up, but then it goes down, stumbling his units into the lurkers, trying to defend this base. Not going to work out. Remember, he just used recall as well, so it's not ready for another 30 seconds. I say that, Mothership pops out. She's going to save a couple of units, but only a few of them. 1 probe, an observer, and 2 oracles. Not a lot left over after the savagery that was Dark's move on the south. Nidus in the main. High Templar, Stalker, Zealot gets jumped on as well. It is a silly amount of lurkers, but they don't have any detection. Time Warp and Cloaking Field come down. The Lurker Hydra tries to fall back. Dark says, get me out of here. I do not have Overseers. And without those, he cannot see any of those units. Hero frantically trying to hang on. Dark has fought this one back. This just seems to be Dark's new standard macro style. It's be greedy, get into Hydra Ling, and then just slowly make your way to Lurkers. And you know what? It's worked out really well this game. I do think Double Forge, it's pretty nice against some styles, but this style especially seems to do very well against it. For whatever reason, I think it's just the Hydra Link count being so high, and it's all about having enough splash damage split across multiple areas to deal with it, rather than having better upgrades. Heroes higher upgrades there, 3, 2, 1, not enough to get him through against Dark's. Just mass Hydra Ling with +3 range attack. Really nice play for Dark to take us to game 5. Alright guys, going into the deciding map. Ultralove is what it's going to be. A map with some nasty choke points on it. Dark in the top right side. And is he adamant about going for the hatchery? You know what? He's sending it across so early this game to make it hard for Hero to see. So he won't see a drone coming out. He'll think he's getting 12 pulled. You're not actually going to build your first hatchery there, are you? Oh, he is. This is so early so that he can get that. He's going to go hatchery first on his opponent's base. Normally he goes hatchery at home. 3rd hatchery to block. Wow. Okay, Hero pulls 2 probes, 3 probes, 4 probes. Yeah, I was going to say you need to pull 4 or 5 even if you want to get rid of that. This does lose him a lot of mining time. Only 12 workers on minerals. But of course, Dark's expansion is massively delayed as well. He's going to have to go spawning pool. He's going to go gas pool right on time. And he's going to try and force Hero to put a pylon down. He should try to micro that drone if he can. Because if he can micro the drone, cut off the corners a little bit, Hero is going to struggle to afford a pylon and a cybercore at the same time. So I think Dark maybe could have done a little bit more micro there. You see, Hero doesn't have the money for the pylon. He's busy building a Zealot. So you could have made him put the pylon down earlier and maybe delay his Zealot or his cybercore. Just a small thing, but a possibility. Drone runs away. Drone comes back. Pylon goes down. Nice timing. Really well done by Hero. Really well done. So he gets the block. He's got a Zealot coming out. He's got those probes, which are going to kill the hatchery as it finishes. And I think Hero should cancel that pylon maybe, but maybe not. He does cancel the pylon, and he lets Dark get the 3rd base up. Not too big of a problem. Dark also cancels this hatchery and builds another one. So Dark's going 3 hatcheries, as well as 2 Zerglings behind this. And this drone going on a nice little queued up patrol path around that main base. Hero did lose a massive amount of mining time fighting that. But of course, Dark slowing down his 2 expansions such a long time is going to cost him also. His queen is very late. Starting to pull off gas is Dark as he starts Ling speed. Drone still circling. Surprised he didn't go for the gas trick, but maybe Hero was blocking that. I wasn't paying attention. Oh! Drone goes down. But Dep did have to come back for that. Stargate's going to be placed now. 150 minerals, 150 gas. Nicely played. Feels like Hero's ahead here. I don't know, man. Even with the 3rd hatchery coming up so early, I just look at that 20 drones at 3 minutes feels bad. Is it just me? I don't know why. I'm sure Dark will be able to explode into drones in a little bit, but the question is, can he actually defend the oracles when they arrive? I feel like if you don't have, you just started your queen on your natural, and the Stargates are already almost finished. I feel like it's going to be scary. Potentially overbuild Zerglings and try to surround these guys before the Oracle joins up with them. If you can do that, maybe you can keep the Oracles stuck at home defending rather than coming forwards aggressively. Okay, this is stressful. This is really stressful right now because Hero, his third is delayed. He's up against a 3-base Zerg. He does have pressure to do damage, but he's got all the advantages to potentially find that damage, right? 2 Adepts already out. He's forced a big pack of Lings. No Spores down. Dark is wide open against the Oracle pressure, and he's only got 4 Queens. Okay, Spores are going to go down now. Zerglings need to be really careful. Oh, run away, Dark. Loses 2 Zerglings already. Hero's going to secure that 3rd base with the ground units while the Oracle heads across the map. No Spore Crawler on the 3rd, guys, and this is what I'm talking about. Oh, no, there we go. 2 Queens. Okay, he does have the extra Queen on this 3rd. Good job. Oh, okay. Good Spore Trick. Doesn't even lose a drone. Dark, impeccable defense. Wow, okay. This doesn't feel so bad anymore. He's scared the Zealot Adept is staying home. The Oracle didn't do any damage on the first wave. The Queen count is still very low, though, and that's what worries me. I think Dark might be over-droning a little bit. I think he needs 2 more Queens, 10 more Zerglings, and then he can go back to droning. But right now, he's almost supply blocked. Starts an Overlord at least, so he realizes. I think a Queen and another Overlord. And he needs to bring every single Queen to the front. He's only got 2 up front, which means if the Oracles dive with the Adepts, these Queens are going to disappear. Oh, these Creep Tumors, not up yet. He needs every Queen on this front right now. 2 Creep Tumors go down. Lings and Queen's going to have to fall back for those Adepts. They're well worth finishing the Shade. Hero realizes he's light on Zerglings and he's going to punish. Stutter stepping away, forcing the drones off this mineral line. Good pull away for Dark. But I think Hero's got a big advantage right now because these Adepts, he cancels the Shade, and I think he's looking for the recall now. Oracles, all 3 of them have gathered up at the front. These Adepts going to continue to try to Shade away. He's fighting very well as the Oracles... Oh, they find a transfer of drones. 3, 4, 5... And he's going past. He's not done yet. Adept Shade into the natural. There's only 2 of them left. The Oracle's going to join up with that Adept, causing problems for Dark. So many problems. And we can see, even though he withstood the first wave very well, it's the follow-up where not a single Oracle dies. 10 drones go down. Yeah, you've got a fast 4th base started as Dark, but you're definitely struggling to recover. With 0 gas mining 6 minutes into the game, I get it's been a very aggressive start. That pushes us back maybe a minute on the timings. Nonetheless, 5 base! 5 base at 6 minutes, but he's got no gas. Dark is going to be on mass Zergling Drone Queen for a little while. With Blinken +1 already almost halfway done. About 30% complete, let's be honest. Halfway. Bit of a stretch there, but still. Lair starts. Evo Chamber goes down. He wants to go straight to Hydras. He's going to need more drones, but the Stalker's already being on the front doors, scaring Dark. This might be the game where he needs to counterattack with Lings, but with an Oracle at home, Hero's covering himself. He's got Battery Stalker on the natural, Battery Oracle on the 3rd, and he's going up 7 more gateways. 9 gate Blink. 9 gate Blink on 3 base. It's a huge commitment. I haven't seen Dark make a Baneling in this matchup in a while. Do not expect Banelings, guys. Pure Ling Hydra up into Lurkers has been his favorite way to play this matchup. I've been critical because I do think he's been lacking strong timings to do direct damage. I think these Lings... Dude, if you're massing Lings on 52 drones, you've got to counterattack. You can't just be defending. He's going to send some Lings across the map now. Ling gets inside the base as well, to the surprise of nobody. Just got to be careful. Queen's got out. Queen's got out in the open. Lings are nearby, though. If the Stalkers blink forward, they will struggle. Dark needs to send Lings ahead. Good. He sends the first one ahead. Needs to send more, though. There's so many stasis traps going down. Mass Ling gets in, but 3 Stalkers are already there. More Stalkers warping in, and a snap recall, a wise decision for Hero. The Lings try to walk right out, and indeed they do. A few of them do anyway. Does at least buy himself a bit of time, but remember that Dark was sitting on 52 workers for a while. He now goes double Hydra Den. I think that's a mistake. I think he's forgotten he built a Hydra Den already. He's built another one, which means he's forgetting to make the upgrades. Big problem. Big problem for Dark right now. Reeling after his proxy hatch block did not get him ahead in this game. Hero handled it calmly and is now going shield battery forward gateway on the front. It is a 10 gate 3 base blink all in against a guy massing Lings and Queens. What a bizarre game we find ourselves here in Game 5 to decide this series, but I'd have it no other way. Massive Lings around on the buildings. I wouldn't mind him committing to that fight there, but Dark backs away from it. What's he going to do, though? He's got 2 Hydra Dens, no upgrades. He starts both upgrades now. I can almost guarantee you he didn't have those control group. Just by the way, he manually went and had to click on them. 4th base goes down. 5th base is mining in the bottom right side for Dark. He's trying to get some Hydras out to back up these Zerglings. They need some ranged firepower. He's going to have to spread these Lings forward. He's not spreading the Lings forward. There we go. Okay, does set off some stasis traps, but the Oracles are just relentless. They keep going and going and going, and so many units going down. Oh my lord, look at this. He keeps having to disengage because of the stasis traps. 4-1 in the units lost. Hero just cackling maniacally to himself as he says, I have ranged units with teleport. Get wrecked, nerd. Dark, he's bled out 80 plus Zerglings. Now his Hydras are here with no support. It's just too little too late. Dark taking a bit too much damage after his hatchery block obstruction. Took too long to get back into the gas, to get up to the Hydra attack in the lair, and was not quite able to do it. I would have liked to see him continue to counterattack in this game. I think he had to buy time. And I think Dark maybe should have played with just a little bit more desperation, right? When you're desperate, you just say, well, I just can't fight you front on. I would have loved to see those Lings counterattacking so much earlier and more consistently and viciously. And I think maybe it would have been able to get him back in. It was always going to be tough being down 8-9 workers for this long, but Hero was so committed to this. He didn't have a 4th, didn't have any Storm on the way or anything like that. It could have worked. Nonetheless, hats off to Hero. Really good series for him. Interesting to see the way these two are going back and forth. And what I'm really shocked by, because I said casting the semifinals of Dark vs Classic earlier, surely 4-gate Glaive Adept is the most solid way to just get in Dark's face and do big damage. But that being said, Dark did open Roaches multiple games this series. So I think there must be a metagame where he's not afraid of Classic and other Protoss players doing 4-gate Glaives after Oracle. But because Hero mixes that build in, he's started to mix in more safe play. He's not doing this greedy Ling straight to Hydra play as much. So I think that's going to be interesting. The next time they play, does Hero mix that Glaive Adept follow-up back in? Does Dark maybe capitalize on some of his good openings a bit better? And what I really want to see to keep Hero on his toes is Mutalisk play off of a good opening. I think using Mutalisks when you've had a bad start, it's not really very likely to work out, not at this level. So it's kind of a bummer that Dark, you know, had such a bad start in game 2 and then tried to go Mutalisks and kind of wasted his Mutalisk card on an effort where it was very unlikely to work. Either way, GG well played. Hero gets the 3-2, wins yet another online tournament and continues to dominate Dark head-to-head. GG well played.